welcome to this edition of the Sports Break on RVNTV.TV. I'm your host, Renee Washington, joined by co-host Kwame Fisher-Jones. And it's football preseason time. Finally, for all fantasy football and NFL football fans, it is time to start tuning in every week to watch your favorite teams
play. You play fantasy football?
No.
Neither do I. I can't. I'd rather be
Not
spayed or neutered. Yeah, I have so many other things in life. Like, I don't know. Watching popcorn microwave. Like, I'm not into fantasy football. But if it's your thing, your thing. That's why.
And watching how stressed out people get over it, I don't think I could do it.
But it's a money. You can make a lot of money in fantasy football and fantasy sports in general. But sports to me has never been about money. It's been about fun, and it's no fun being at a computer picking lineups and talking crap to people. That's not my idea of fun. But again, I'm not dissing. Do what you want to do.
It's a fun thing for people. So we're going to start off with breaking down the AFC North, the teams in the AFC North, starting with the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
So Joe Flacco hasn't been playing all preseason. They've been looking a little sloppy. But what are your thoughts? He is cleared to be getting back to play at the start of the season.
Sloppy, such a professional word from you. Such a big word from you, sloppy. They've been looking.
Insulted.
Yeah, you should be, because I'm messing with you. It's been a while. Joe Flacco has been out for the duration of preseason, or he's going to be out for the duration of preseason, and then there's a good chance he may not be there for week one. They are one of the few teams that can use a Colin Kaepernick, but they're like that perpetual child in the corner that's sulking that we're not going to do it, even though it's what's best for you. They just signed a guy named Thaddeus Lewis, and I don't know any dads that are good at what they do, but maybe he could be the first dad that breaks the trend. If there was ever a name destined for failure, Thad would be it. Like, you know, I'm just saying, like, they're saying, like, if you're named after a car or a drink or an event or some sort of food outside of Kobe, it's usually names for disaster, and that goes synonymous with disaster. But the big thing for the Ravens for me is, has there been a defensive organization? They've been a defensive team for so long. Can they stay defensive? Can they get their defensive line to come back? You know, Terrell Suggs is old. Yes. In football years. I was trying to think of a funny analogy, but he's just old. So that's the big thing with the Ravens. Can they do it? And Flacco, whether you sit on the side of franchise quarterback or an influx quarterback, he's still a guy that has a high velocity, high strong arm. So we'll see where it goes. I'm curious to see how long they hold out on Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm going to use a really crass analogy here, but I'm prefacing it so you can brace yourself. It's like you're dating a virgin and then you get mad when she or he doesn't know how to do things. When you miss preseason, they don't have that experience. So you're going to get mad when he gets hurt the first week of preseason, or the first week of the regular season, or the second week of the regular season, or he's not sharp. So he's going to be off for 5 or 6 games. There's going to be this process, and you don't get those games back in the NFL.
So then, do you think them keeping the backup quarterback Ryan Mallett over Kaepernick is the right move? That's what you're saying. No.
I was holding back a yawn, and just the name made me yawn. Ryan Mallett? I'm going to tell you a funny story, really funny story. You're going to laugh.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's a good story. Gee, this is a good story. I used to be a writer for Bleacher Report, as you know, and I did a story about how Tom Brady was on his way out. This was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tom Brady, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I said Ryan Mallett was going to take his position because he looked great in preseason and Bill Belichick cut ties. Well, that worked out well, didn't it? Yeah, Tom Brady looks like he's definitely 10 years later. We're still. It was either 10 or 8 years.
Okay, yeah. As we saw him winning the Super Bowl. Okay, yeah.
He had lost like multiple Super Bowls. You know, the whole spot. Like, look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. But Ryan Mallett, I hate Ryan Mallett for that very reason, so I wish nothing but failure on him. So with that being said, until they decide to get Kaepernick, you know, nothing good will come their way. It's like the color purple line. Nothing good will come your way.
I'm wearing purple. I don't know.
Okay, purple rain. But yeah, the Ravens are interesting, but I don't see big things out of them in the season. I see a 7, maybe 9-win team at best.
All right. Well, moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, we've got a big name little brother, I should say, in J.J. Watt's younger brother, T.J. Watt.
Well played, high five. Well played by you.
Yeah, he's doing some big things. I mean, everyone has really he's been a big buzz around, especially social media. They've really been picking up on him because J.J. Watt was someone that kind of was overlooked a little bit, and it took him a while to get going, and now they're really taking a chance on T.J. Watt. And he's, as a pass rusher, he's doing very well.
Outside linebacker, him and I think it's Bud Dupree are two guys they're counting on a lot in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is Blitzburgh. They're driven by their outside linebackers. Here's my question, and I'm going to throw this to you. How long with Mike Tomlin? He's had a franchise quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell, how long are we going to play the game with Le'Veon Bell? If he's not holding out, he's hurt. If he's not hurt, he's making horrible diss tracks. Like, how long with Mike Tomlin? And I love Mike Tomlin. But if he were any other coach, if he were, and I'm going to say this, if he were not a black coach, would we have maybe questioned him a lot sooner? Because he's had the pieces and he's had the organization, he's had the players.
And they did well. They did well last year. I mean, getting knocked off by Green Bay, they could have potentially. I don't know. I mean, my bad. They're right there and they do look like they should be a team. And that is where, you know what? It's kind of funny you ask that, because they're a team that I remember once we were getting towards the postseason last year, I was thinking, oh, they're at least going to make it to the Super Bowl, and they look like they have the pieces to make it. I mean, you have Big Ben as your quarterback, as a solid veteran quarterback. You have the other pieces around him, yet they can never seem to get it together. But they're always a good team. They're just never that.
But and that's why I asked you, is good enough? Like, when do you push? Like, all right, so they came in, they were great, or they were good. They were great at some point, then they were good, and now it's like they're declining, and they're refusing to acknowledge that decline. So if they don't accept it, because that's the first accountability. I always talk about it. That's the first thing that you need. You have to have a team that's willing to be accountable and accept the fact that they're not where they believe themselves to be. So that's why I pose the question to you. For me, I think this is a monster year for Mike Tomlin, because if the Steelers don't make it to the Super Bowl, and I don't care about the other teams, don't give me excuses for why you can't get it done. Get it done. If the Steelers can't make it to the Super Bowl, then you got to clean house. You got to clean house and you got to start rebuilding, because here's the thing. There's hope in uncertainty. There's boredom and there's you become mundane in certainty. If that makes sense. You know, kind of cheesy, but makes sense. So if you're the Steelers, Roethlisberger's talking about retiring. When a guy's talking about retiring, he's already retired. If she's talking about leaving you, she's already left you. It's the truth. You know what I mean? If she starts interviewing for other jobs, she's probably going to leave you. So you need to accept that if you're Tomlin, and Le'Veon Bell, cut ties with him. He's hurt. It's always something non-football related. We got two other teams we got to get to before we get to the NFC. But, you know, to me, the story of that division is going to be the last two teams that we're saving. Yeah. And these two teams need to accept the obvious that it ain't going to get right. Yeah. You know, and when you're hanging on to Ray Lewis in Baltimore, who, whatever you want to say, is a prop by the media, you know, and if you're the Steelers, you're holding on to past glory. I mean, Dick LeBeau's no longer Dick LeBeau's not walking through that door. Terry Bradshaw's not walking through that door. James Harrison, unfortunately, is still walking through that, crawling through that door.
Well, they do have Martavis Bryant is back after his drug suspension. And he's talking about the excitement of being back and finally being able to play. I mean, in his years in the league, he's been out for a number of games dealing with off-field issues. Yeah. Is this finally his year to maybe play?
You know, I'm not trying to dish your question, but again, it comes back to Mike Tomlin. One's off the field for something stupid. Yes. Another one's off the field for something ridiculous, and then you got people videotaping you in your locker room, you know, speeches. It's come a time where we need to question Tomlin, and I'm doing that. Yeah. And I push you because I love you. How about that? I'm a Mike Tomlin guy. I want you to be successful. But the flip side of that is I have a high level of expectations for you. And when I expect a lot, I take very little from you. So that with Tomlin, I expect a lot. Let's see if the handshake matches a smile at this point.
All right. Well, we do have a team that was 1-15 last year. Okay. The Cleveland Browns. Now, they've really been trying to rebuild, and they say last year was a rebuilding year, so we'll give them that. It happens sometimes. Do you think this year?
It always happens in Cleveland. It always happens in Cleveland. They always are rebuilding.
All sports. It's all. Yeah. They have that. Yes, they do have.
They have the look of a loser.
Not the Philly sports bad luck, but it's a whole different kind
of.
No,
because they won a championship.
They did
in the NBA. Now the Browns and the Eagles are what and what. I don't think the Browns have ever won a Super Bowl. I know they won a couple of championships, but I don't think they've ever won a Super Bowl either. I feel like I got my Kevin Hart thing going on right now. Look, that team, they passed on Deshaun Watson. They take the defensive end out of Texas A&M, Myles Garrett, who I'm not that high on personally. I think he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. I'll say that a little louder too because I ain't scared. I think he looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. I do. I think he's like Braylon Edwards. Like he's more concerned with being a male model than being a football player. And one of the things resonate. Well, I know you don't. I mean, you're fine with that, but
I mean, I'm not fine with that. It's just
well, you should be.
His priority's not there. I mean, his focus isn't there. It's clearly not what it should be as a. Yeah. If he wants to be a better player, maybe he's just complacent with what he is now.
Yeah, and that's not good. Look, Deshaun Kaiser had a pretty good preseason game, and the buzz is how well he played, but it's like people expected him to fail. So the fact that he didn't fall on his face 17 times, it's like, oh wow, we may have something. So we'll see. I trust Hugh Jackson. He's a great football mind. Has been a terrific head coach. So we'll see how that turns out. The big thing for me though for Cleveland, and it's the same thing with most other NFL teams, is what's your identity? Yeah. How do you break that culture of losing? You know, when a guy drops a pass, how do you stop him from going like this? You know what I mean? To go like that. You know what I mean? It's that mindset, because that's where it starts. It starts in preparation. It starts to you wanting to be there and how much you're going to put in. And football is a game of emotion. It's much like cooking. You know, and we're going to have Chef Mitzi Jackson back with you, and hopefully we'll get you to eat the food this time on camera. But you know, the big thing is with food, you got to be passionate about it. No one really cares about how it looks on a plate. It's how it tastes. It's the context, the context of it. And that's with football. I don't care how great Myles Garrett looks without his shirt on. If he looks like Warren Sapp, but plays like Warren Sapp, I'm great. But if he looks like that and plays like, you know, trying to think of a bad defensive end that comes back to me, like if he looks like Mike Mamula, but you know what I mean, and plays like that, doesn't help anybody. So that's the big thing with Cleveland. What's your identity? How are you going to break this losing culture? Because that's where it starts. If you can get that in your mind that you don't have the look of a loser, you're not a loser, then you'll start believing that you're a winner. When you dictate that and believe those things, you'll turn that corner. You gotta love yourself before someone else will love you. How about that?
It'll be interesting to see if they're bought in, if they're all bought in to really do what it takes to change.
Do you think they're brought in? Do you think they bought in?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm putting you on the clock right now. Yes or no? Do you think they bought in?
I say,
come on, give me something definitive.
Not deeply, if that makes sense. I think as of now, because right now everyone's 0-0. So, but right now, if you're a team and you haven't been winning in the past, you didn't win in the past at all. You won one game, and now you're going into the season like, oh, this is our year, fresh start. We get game one, here we go, and they're going game 2, game 3, game 4, and then all of a sudden it drops the ball. I don't know if it sustains. I don't know if that's where they are yet. I think it'll be a better season. I think they'll win more games, but I don't think it's not going to be this breakout year where they're going to be a top team competing for a Super Bowl opportunity.
I don't think they brought in one bit, and it was well said by you, very eloquent. But I don't think they brought in because I don't think they've gotten that player. Mm-mm. When you get that player that makes you go, wow, we actually don't suck right now. Yeah. Like, wow, I actually have a chance to be special. That's when you buy in. Right now, they don't have that. They're a revolving door of mediocre talent.
And you need to have that player also that'll say and keep the morale up. You know, hey, it's not one week may be bad. They may have a bad game, but we're in this for the entire season. So we're gonna, shake that one off, get back in the next game, be ready to go. And I don't know if they have that either, which is why when I say they're not deeply bought in other words, they're not bought in. Like you're either in or out. You're either in or you're out, and I don't think it's there.
Yeah, I don't think it's there. It's interesting you touch your heart because that's where it starts. And they need to have somebody that makes them feel uncomfortable. Those are the keys to success. Because that's when you know how bad somebody wants it, when you push them
when it gets hard and difficult. Yes. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll continue talking about our final team in the AFC and shift gears to the NFC.
The Bungles! Joe Mixon's home.
We'll be right back.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30, every Monday.
See you there.
Got a quarter?
Welcome back to the Sports Break. I'm your host, Renee Washington, joined by co-host Kwame Fisher-Jones. And as we are getting into the start or nearing the start of the official football season and watching all the teams in their preseason games and their training camps, we've been breaking down some of the AFC North teams, and we have one team left.
Yes.
The Cincinnati Bengals. So, they have, in my opinion, well, I won't give my opinion yet. I'll let you go first.
No, you go first.
No,
Ladies
no, no,
first.
no, no,
Ladies
no.
first. Go.
No. What have you seen from them so far
She
this
said
preseason?
no and she moved on.
I moved on.
So this is why I was gonna let you go first. Renee. I'm tired of Marvin Lewis. I'm tired of him. I read of him. I don't want to see him anymore. I don't want to see him with his pants up too high on the sidelines. I'm tired of seeing him draft players that have been on the police blotters, guys that you wouldn't want to, guys that you don't want to be around, not just bad people, but, questionable characters. Like, and football players don't need to be good guys, but damn it, they all don't need to be bad. Mm-hmm. You drafted a guy that cold cocked a woman in her face.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't find another running back? Like, there was nobody, and second chances, I'm all good. I'm all for second chances. But second chances, you don't get to pick what your second chance is.
Yeah.
And
you should have to work for your second chance, too.
He may would have. I'm not questioning whether or not he would, but I'm saying as a man, I don't want to be around the grown man. Like, when you're 13, 14, and you get into a fight with a girl, sometimes girls are mouthy and they swing on you. And, but you haven't fully developed, that's one thing. But to just straight size up and punch a woman in her face, I ain't with that. Like, it's like, duh, I'm not with that.
Oh, you didn't like that he punched a woman in the face? I
didn't like that and then, I'm not, there's this level of expectation with football players now. Like, you're going to have this dude.
It almost becomes as a female, there almost is an expectation that football players are violent.
And it's terrible. It's like these guys are not bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, they're not bad guys. They're really good guys. I don't want to get into the whole negative thing, but to me, that is a microcosm of the Cincinnati Bengals. We're willing to be mediocre by any means necessary. Like, we don't want to suck, but we'll be okay by any means necessary. You take a shot on Joe Mixon if that's the one piece and you're going to the Super Bowl. You don't take a shot at Joe Mixon when you're barely even a playoff team. Yeah. So I'm tired of Marvin Lewis. Like, get off the pot. And I know that's tough to say in the morning.
So they don't have a lot of injuries
football today
coming into the season, and that's something that a lot of people may take that for granted. But that's a big deal.
Yeah.
When you are working with a team and you're working on those pieces to the puzzle, and you have all the pieces there. Is that something that you think will help them at all? I don't know.
No, not at all. I think they are. Andy Dalton is who he is. I'm an Andy Dalton fan, but I'm also an Andy Dalton realist. They are a 6 to 8 win team. Now maybe a guy breaks his leg, and they can squeeze out 9 or 10 wins. but they're not winning a playoff game. They're not, breaks his leg, pulls a hammy-mammy, whatever you want to call it, but they're not winning a playoff game, and that's what this is about. You've had this dude for 10, 15, 20, 99 years. He's got his pants up to his nipples, and you guys aren't getting anything out of this. His wardrobe is bad, his team is bad, his plays are bad, everything about him is bad.
Okay. So then,
Tell me how you
final question. Who do you think is going to be the top team in the AFC North?
My heart wants to say the Browns.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think with my heart.
Wow, you're going with that Turner?
No, I'm not. That's my heart. No, I'm a man. I know not to think with my heart or other parts. I think with this, and this tells me that it'll probably be the Steelers. But again, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. But if I had to pick a winner, I would say Pittsburgh this year. They still got Big Ben, and they still got just enough to beat the Bengals. And as much as the Browns are the sentimental little tank team, they're just not going to pull it out.
I think in this group, it's definitely the Steelers. I mean, they should, yes. That's why I wanted to ask y'all and see if we did agree.
Well, no, I want you to go first. Ladies always go first.
I definitely think that the Steelers have the best chance, but I don't know what they do beyond that.
Nothing, not a damn thing.
So, switching gears into the NFC North, let's start with the Minnesota Vikings with our former Eagles quarterback, Sam Bradford, and Adrian Peterson.
I gotta ask you a question. As a woman, I want to talk to him. Yes, as a woman. Sam Bradford, does he not have the worst football body you've ever seen? Does he not? God didn't bless him with shoulders. He's got baby arms. He's got short arms and deep pockets. He has no definition in his legs.
All right, if we're gonna sidebar here, then I'm gonna go. Let me go all in, buy into this conversation then, and this topic. As a female, there's an expectation for what a football player should look like.
Yes.
Regardless what they look like under the helmet, because they don't always look good under the helmet.
That's fine.
But they're physically, they're in all the pads and the tight, everything. You expect them to have, big legs and big arms, and as they're catching the ball, you see everything rippling, and as they throw it, you see it all going. Okay. And then when when they take their helmet off, and 80% of them are ugly.
Wow.
Okay, I'll lower that. I'll say
okay.
60.
It's okay because I don't play football anymore, so I'll take that. Ugly is not to describe it.
Then you're kind of like, okay, at least their body looks good. Mm-hmm. But with Sam Bradford,
he's got the body of a 9-year-old.
Yeah, you have nothing there. There's nothing there. He's just a man.
He's just a man. Look,
That's it. He's just a man.
It's like he grew this grizzled beard to try to make him look masculine. That's what it is. He doesn't have a masculine body. He's not fat. Yeah, there you go. Everything about him is just you know what I mean? He looks like his breath stinks. All right, let me take it back to the football field. I can't take you serious as a quarterback when you look like that. It just, it looks like at any minute when he throws the ball, he's going to crumble.
And you do have, when you look at the quarterbacks across the league, Tom Brady, Big Ben, you have those quarterbacks that as they're walking through the tunnel, you're like, all right, there's my general
poster child for masculinity. He's got Giselle.
He's got the personality. Yeah. He's on the sidelines talking to everyone. He's coaching everyone. He's got it. He's fiery. Yeah. Sam Bradford's kind of like
who woke me up? Can I get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with no crust?
Kind of reminds me of Pillsbury Doughboy. In the sense that he's like the fluff,
I like that. He's like a skinny fat dude.
Yeah, cool, but not
and
really.
It's a shame. I like the Vikings.
Doesn't have
that
edge.
He doesn't. You're gonna laugh. He doesn't look like a man. He doesn't look like a man in the pocket. He doesn't look like he's gonna yell. He looks like he may try to yell at somebody and his voice will crack. You know what I mean? And he looks, he looks like a banker or an accountant or, somebody on Wall Street that's going to take your money or steal your hedge fund. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like he's going to hit a guy deep and down the seam or give you a Mo guitar fist after a good play or smack
a high five that hurts.
Yeah. He looks like, he looks like Cam Newton dresses. There you go. That's what he looks like. He looks like he should dress like Cam Newton. Cam Newton looks like a football player, but dresses like a badminton or a hockey. You know what I mean? I bet you, because he looks like a football player.
Yeah, but he's got that swag where he's like, I can wear whatever I want to wear. That Russell Westbrook, wear what you want, foolishness.
No, you cannot. Give your girlfriend back her pants, Russell. No, you cannot. Don't let her gas you. No, you cannot. See, that's the problem. There's not enough testosterone around Cam Newton. Because somebody, and I know he's not an NFC North team, but just somebody needs to smack fire out of him when he comes outside with a hat That's 4 sizes too small. Now, back to the
right.
NFC North. The Vikings lose Adrian Peterson has been the identity of the franchise. You know, they're in flux. They had a strong defense last year, but I can't realistically say that I see them taking the next leap. And when you hitched your wagon to Sam Bradford, it makes me think of a phrase that I made up, that I coined. You know, you hitch your wagon to a donkey and then get mad because that's your ass. And that's what I think about with the Vikings. Like, I see them on a fast track going nowhere. Mike Zimmer's having health problems, but he's coaching against his doctor's wishes, and he's willing to put it all on the line. He's putting it all on the line for that dude. He's got they have shoulder pads and they have shockers under your shoulder pads. They like these little plastic things. He looks like he's playing in shockers. Like, he doesn't even look like he has big boy shoulder pads. So, you know, but there is a team in the North that'll be more disappointing than the. And when we get to that, I'll let you know. But they're a team that I think will be more disappointing.
All right. Well, we'll actually talk about them when we get back from this break. We'll be right back to finish talking about the NFC North, so you can talk about your disappointing team. We'll be right back.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
Welcome back to the Sports Break. I'm your host, Renee Washington, with co-host Kwame Fisher-Jones. And we have 3 teams left to talk about in the NFC North.
But only one that matters.
But only one that matters.
Yeah.
The Packers.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, phenomenal quarterback. I love watching
That's what they
Aaron
keep
Rodgers
telling
play.
me. That's what they keep telling me.
Oh, so what are your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers?
Well, I think they've been overrated. And
Really?
like you said, you think about this.
We're not talking about Sam Bradford.
Yeah, I know. I'm still thinking about Sam Bradford. Aaron Rodgers has had everything available to him to win multiple Super Bowls, and he hasn't done it. So when do you stop? When do you say, okay, yeah, he is this generation's underachieving player? We talk about how great Aaron Rodgers is. Give me a Super Bowl. Give me something other than that one run where Michael Vick tried to go to Riley Cooper in the clutch, and let's see what happens. You know, and I'm down on Aaron Rodgers. You know, the Bears are going to suck again. The Lions are the Lions for a reason. You know, guys are leaving the Lions. They're giving them money to leave. But when I think of the North, I think of the Packers, and I'm not buying into Aaron Rodgers. I'm tired of the Aaron Rodgers show. At some point, make it happen.
So you don't think that they have brought in and strengthened the players around him to be better than they were last year?
Possibly, and it's a great question. Possibly, but, you know, just like through it all, as 2 competitors, when you spot weakness in a person, you prey on them. Mm-hmm. You know, when you see a guy that everyone tells you is so good and he's so amazing, you expect things out of him, so you up the ante as well. Aaron Rodgers hasn't produced. I mean, he's not a play. He's supposed to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he's not. And he's not. Whatever camera you put, and he's not. So Kendrick Lamar said it best. The jig is up on Aaron Rodgers, and I think enough's enough. If he doesn't, like I said, if Pittsburgh's not in the Super Bowl and Aaron Rodgers aren't in the Super Bowl, I don't want to hear about him again, and I still will, but I don't want to hear about him. I know who Aaron Rodgers was dating, and I know nothing about guys' personal life, but I know who Aaron Rodgers was dating. Like that shouldn't even be. If you haven't played in multiple Super Bowls, that shouldn't be a conversation. Who the hell should care who his girlfriend is? But that's, double check. All that things are cute, but he's not winning. He's not getting it done on the field.
So you think even though as far as they went, because they haven't reached the Super Bowl?
No.
So, and I get it. A lot of things come down to the rings, the championship.
I'm going to put you on the clock right here. Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers? I'm taking Russell Wilson. Multiple Super Bowls can motivate his team, and he came in after Aaron.
See, I like his demeanor as a player too, and I do.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever.
And besides his off-field relationship with Sierra, which is adorable, and that whole the love is really inspiring and cute.
Oh.
All
right, Cam Newton or Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, I would take Cam Newton. But my thing is, as a competitor, there are certain things that I want to have as a teammate, or someone that if I'm a fantasy football person and I'm picking players, I want that player that rallying people in the locker room, and the one that you always see is tuned in, focused, in the zone, and making sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And that's where like an Aaron Rodgers, great quarterback, but he's not that player. Yeah. And that's where like a Cam Newton, even I do respect it about Tom Brady. Like I want to see that you are fully invested, because you're the one that's, if they're not blocking for you, if they're not getting open and running their routes properly, it all comes back to you. You're the one getting sacked. You're the one getting hit.
Or make a play.
And you need to, and you're the one that people are saying, oh, you're not that good because how many Super Bowls have you made it to? Like your argument is.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all that talent and no production to go with. At some point, the acclaim needs to match the achievement, and it has not. And I would not take Cam Newton over Aaron Rodgers, but I would give them both back.
I just like Cam Newton.
Yeah, I know. I'd give them both back. So
I don't know.
Good stuff though today.
One last question though, real quick, because we didn't really talk about them. You mentioned them shortly, but between the Detroit Lions and the Bears, who has been the biggest laugh of this preseason, off-season draft, everything?
Both of them.
Can't say both?
Okay.
Pick one.
Well, I got hair on my chest. I can say whatever I want to say. I would say the Lions, because Calvin Johnson was willing to give money back to leave that organization. And as a Barry Sanders fan, as a guy that loved Barry Sanders, that's why I hate the Lions to this day. So to see years later, players still willing to retire versus wearing the Hawaiian blue was pretty funny. Pretty funny, because Detroit gets what they get. They get what they get, and they shouldn't get upset.
I still like the Bears in the draft, moving up to number 2 for
to get that beer. Guy named after a beer.
All right. Interesting though. I'm very interested to see what actually happens, because I'm definitely going with the Packers out of the NFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, no choice
and
by default.
The Steelers out of the AFC North. So we'll see what happens. Football season is right around the corner. But that is it for the Sports Break today. Thank you for tuning in. You can always find more episodes on RVNTV.tv, and we're back here at 9 a.m. every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so you should be here too. I'm Renee Washington with co-host Kwame Fisher-Jones, and we'll see you on Thursday.